Apple is quietly ripping up its entire playbook for September, and honestly, a lot of you are going to be furious. We've been buying iPhones the exact same way for over a decade. September rolls around, Tim Cook says good morning, we get the standard models, we get the Pro models, and we all argue about which one to buy. Not this year. The base iPhone 18 is completely missing from the fall lineup. It's gone. Instead, Apple is splitting the entire launch in half, gatekeeping the September event strictly for the heavy hitters. The iPhone 18 Pro, the Pro Max, and that mythical $2,000 folding iPhone Ultra we've been hearing about for years. If you're waiting for the regular iPhone 18, you are stuck waiting until March or maybe even April of 2027. So, why is Cupertino suddenly punishing standard buyers? And more importantly, is it actually worth shelling out for the 18 Pro right now to skip the wait? Let's break down exactly what the supply chain is telling us, because things are getting messy. First off, let's talk about why Apple would even do this. You have to look at the silicon. DG Times has been sounding the alarm on TSMC's 2-nanometer node production for months. They're churning out the brand new A20 Pro chip, but yields on a node shrink this dramatic are notoriously tough early on. By delaying the standard iPhone 18 and possibly downgrading it to an iPhone 18 moniker, Apple buys itself half a year to hoard enough chips to meet demand. Plus, it extends the marketing hype. They let the 18 Pro and the Fold dominate the holiday quarter, completely dodging any cannibalization from cheaper models. And speaking of the Pro models, they're shaping up to be absolute spec monsters. The design language is largely carrying over, but we are finally getting some massive visual tweaks. Macworld leaked that Apple is experimenting with a deep, dark cherry color for the 18 Pro, alongside a lighter blue and a practically black dark gray. But if Apple doesn't drop a true space black this year to match the Artemis moon missions, they're seriously dropping the ball. I mean, the marketing writes itself. Now, flip the phone over, and the display tech is where things get wild. Industry analyst Ross Young has been adamant about the dynamic island shrinking, and now Leaker Ice Universe just posted schematics backing it up. We're looking at a much smaller cutout this year, hiding the actual Face ID sensors completely under the OLED screen. It's not fully invisible yet, but Ross Young says the completely uninterrupted under-display Face ID is only a few cycles away. For now, the 18 Pro gets the minimized island, giving you just a little bit more screen real estate. Are you guys actually bothered by the current dynamic island? Or is this just an aesthetic flex at this point? Let me know down in the comments, because I honestly stopped noticing it after 5 minutes of use. Let's pivot to the camera system, because the ELEC out of Korea just dropped a bombshell. Supply chain sources indicate Apple is spinning up production on a true variable aperture lens for the iPhone 18 Pro. We haven't seen them push optics this hard since the initial switch to massive sensors. A variable aperture means genuine mechanical depth of field control, better low light, sharper edge-to-edge focus on macro shots, and less reliance on software-driven portrait mode artifacts. If you pair that with the rumored redesign of the camera control button, which they are reportedly making way less sensitive to stop those annoying accidental triggers, this could be the biggest leap for mobile creators in years. I turned my camera button off months ago, but mechanical fix might actually bring me back. Under the hood, the performance jump is going to be absurd. The A20 Pro built on TSMC's 2nm process isn't just about raw benchmark scores. It is entirely about power efficiency and thermal throttling management. Shrinking the die means less heat and far less battery drain. Add in the fact that well-known leaker digital chat station spotted the 18 Pro Max rocking a battery cell over 5,000 milliamp hours, and we're looking at 2-day battery life becoming the standard. A 5,000 milliamp hour cell inside a chassis optimized for 2nm silicon is basically unheard of in the Apple ecosystem. They're throwing everything at the wall here to justify the upgrade. But here is the absolute kicker, the price. Ming-Chi and Jeff Pu both released investor notes Kurobo, rating that Apple wants to freeze the starting price of the Pro tier. So we're looking at $999 for the 18 Pro and $1199 for the Pro Max. That sounds great on paper, right? But keep in mind, The global RAM shortage is brutal right now. Makotakra suggests that while the base price stays flat, upgrading to higher storage tiers might carry a much steeper Apple tax than usual. You will get 12 gigabytes of unified memory across the board to handle heavy on-device AI tasks, which is double what the iPhone 17 had, but upgrading your storage to 1 terabyte might cost you an arm and a leg. Let's talk about that folding iPhone Ultra for a second, because the engineering hurdles here are massive. Making a hinge that meets Apple's obsessive durability standards means they had to completely rethink the internal chassis. We are talking custom titanium alloy blends and incredibly complex, flexible OLED materials. If they actually debut this in September, the regular iPhone 18 wouldn't just be overshadowed, it would be entirely forgotten by the tech press. They need the spotlight exclusively on the high-margin hardware. Honestly, I'll believe the folding iPhone is real when I see Tim Cook actually holding on stage, because we have been burned by these rumors before. But the smoke is getting incredibly thick, and patent filings are accelerating. So where does this leave the rest of the lineup? The rumor mill is a complete contradiction right now. Mark Gurman has hinted at the iPhone Air sequel, and a sketchy report from The Information claims it might pack dual rear cameras this time around. But nobody can agree on when it drops. Does it launch in September to pad out the premium event, or does it get banished to the spring event alongside the base iPhone 18? Shrimp Apple Pro thinks Apple is trying to simplify the holiday lineup entirely around high margins. You walk into the Apple Store in November, and your choices are an expensive 18 Pro, an even more expensive Pro Max, or a wallet-destroying folding iPhone Ultra. If you are rocking an older model and were holding out for the standard 18, this split puts you in a really weird spot. Do you really want to wait until April 2027 just to buy a phone that might end up being branded as a budget iPhone 18e? Counterpoint research data show the iPhone 17 was the best-selling phone globally earlier this year, but the Pro Max was right behind it. Apple knows their most loyal buyers skew heavily toward the premium end. They are intentionally starving the entry-level market to force impatient upgraders into the Pro tier. It's a calculated, ruthless supply chain maneuver. Will it actually work, or are you just going to hold on to your current daily driver for another year?